Okay, good morning team, or as usual, good afternoon or good evening if you are watching this on demand. It is lower body conditioning. We have got 10 4-minute rounds for you today. We have got a little bit of everything, as we usually do. We are going to start with our warm-up, which is also 4 minutes. 8 moves, 30 seconds per move. First move is going to be a boxer shuffle shoulder roll. So let's get into it. So you know the drill, guys. Bouncing lightly on the balls of the feet, kind of a little rotation side to side, and then adding in that shoulder roll. Sorry, team. Okay, high knee step. So pull the knees up, just step it. I really want you to, again, we're working on that ankle stiffness, which will make us stronger and faster. So think about pulling the toes up to the shin instead of just leaving it pointing down. So that's why we're stepping. So I want you to really think about using the core to lift and pulling those toes up. And then just nice and slow, start to put a little bit of plyometric in it. And again, still really thinking about pulling that toe up. Trying to land nice and straight. And then just into that little quarter squat, tiny little mini jump. So just practicing sending the hips back and down, lifting up, and then toe ball heel for the landing. Making sure you can see toe ball heel rolling through those feet. Good. Right, single leg deadlift on the left. We're going to do this with our foot down. So toe into the ground and then just hinge and lift. So make sure you start with your feet under your hips. Take that back foot and then pull your shoulders back and down. So don't round out and focus on hinging from the hip and really working that hamstring. Good. And then swap legs. So again, feet under the hip, step back, push the ball of the foot into the floor, and then hinge at the hip. You should really feel those hamstrings starting to warm up. And then let's get into those inner thighs and some lateral movement. Lateral rocks. So you know the rules. Feet facing forward, heels down, hips back. Try not to look up at the screen, so look down, neck in neutral spine so that you've got one straight line. So when I say neck in neutral spine, I basically mean you've got one straight line so you haven't broken the line through the spine from the top all the way down to the bottom, and then up and over. Steppers do exactly the same thing, just step it up and over. Good work. Team, last move of the warm-up. And rest. Good work. So you have 30 seconds between rounds. I have remembered to bring water today. So I said in the introduction, we have got 10 rounds. Each round is 4 minutes long. 30-second blocks, sometimes a 60-second block. We are going to start working from the bottom up with some calf raises and some hamstring work. So first thing we're going to do, grab that left and just calf raise. And if you can, we're going to put those hands up. Just pushing up. You can pause at the top, pause at the top. Try and make sure that you have it, so pull the shoulders down, arms nice and straight, and swap sides. So the calf muscles often get overlooked. We use our calf muscles a lot when we jump, but there isn't a lot of strength training that often happens. So just for the first round, we're just going to give them a little bit of extra attention this week. And if you want to get off balance, it's all good. Right, deadlift, tap. So left leg is going to go back. We're going to try and tap and come up. So try and tap your foot and come up. Try and keep it nice and stable. So remember, it's all about that foot that's on the floor. Spread the toes and have a wide base of support. Can't tap your toes, find something that you can. So maybe you're just going to tap your knee every rep. But swap side and then go to the other side. Try and move slowly if you can. So again, wide base support, pushing that foot into the floor. And rest there. So back to that left leg, arms up, and if you can this time, we're going to hop. So again, if you can't hop, if you need to avoid impact, you just stick with the raise that we did in set one. But if you can, we're going to hop. If you can hop but you can't have your hands up, then you can do whatever you need to get your balance. And switch. Try to make sure that you keep that foot wrapped around that calf muscle for me. Good work. Right, left leg. So we're going to do that deadlift tap, and then if you can, you're going to bring it through to that high knee. If you need to tap it in between, so do your deadlift, tap, lift, that's okay. Try and rescue any wobble, and switch sides. One more rep. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Oh, she fell over. Good work, team. Oh, so you should be feeling those calf muscles, and you should be very aware of your hamstring. And now we're going to go into something completely different. So every other round is going to have what we call a blast. So we're going to start off with 30 seconds, yak squat, in and out. So staying nice and low, extending the hips back and down, making sure that we're in that nice position. If you need to step it, you've got two options, in and out or stepping. I personally prefer the in and out. I think it works you a little bit harder. Trying to stay under that ceiling. And then 30 seconds of a bear crawl. So get those feet to the outside of your jack squat. Hands down, walk out, walk back. If you don't want to walk out on your hands, squat down, hinge to put your feet, your hands flat on the floor, hinge back to your squat. So this is the modification if you don't want to walk out. Good work. Right, the blast, we're going to put them together. So in, out, out, walk out into that bear crawl. So one jack squat, one bear crawl. So in, out, bear crawl. And as you can see from the timers, guys, we are doing this for 1 minute. So you're going to feel that heat start to come through those quads, but we really want to concentrate the work into the big muscles at the back of the legs if we can. And when we're walking out into those hands, that's the time to kind of release the tension in those legs. And you can kind of hold here, have a little breather, and then come back. And with these blast rounds, the best thing is we do them twice. So you're going to come out of your last bear crawl, and then we're straight back in, just jack squat. Good work. So stepping in and out, or a same squat, tap option if you need it. If at any point everything gets a bit much, just come up, have a little shake, and then get straight back down. Take it nice and wide into that bear crawl. And again, if you just need that modification, just do that hip hinge, straighten your legs, put your hands flat on the floor, push back into the squat, and if you need to stand up, stand up. And then we've got that last 60 seconds team coming in 5, where we're going to put the 2 together. 3, 2, 1. So, jack squat and bear crawl. So I want you to try and keep moving for the whole 60 seconds. Or I want you to try and keep working. And what I mean by that is, you could be in that plank position at the bottom of the bear, and that could be your rest position. So instead of just resting up here, just try and rest where you are still being active. So you could just take a couple of breaths here, release those legs a little bit, and then come back in and start working again. Well done, guys. We've got 15 seconds. Really focusing on not letting those hips drop at the top of that bear crawl when you're all the way out in that plank position. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. Come on up. Oh, if I put it there, I'll kick it over. Okay, 4 moves, 30 seconds per move. We're going to repeat them. So we're going to start with an adductor squat. So you want your feet as close together as you can, and squat. So same rules apply, weight in the heels, toes on the ground, bending the hips, back and down. Don't need to rush this move. Slow and control. And then straight into the adductor windmill. So sit into the bottom of that squat, bring the hands up, and windmill. Neck is in neutral spine. So once you've seen the move and you've got it, don't look at the screen. So again, neck in neutral spine means there is a neutral line. Remember, your spine starts at the top of at the base of your neck, and it comes all the way down. So we want that to be in a nice straight line. Good work, guys. Okay, walking squat. Over and no, down, up, down, up. That's the walking squat. Getting ahead of myself. Good, so all the way down, all the way up. Make sure when you come all the way up, you squeeze those glutes at the top. And then crab walk. So imagine you've got a band and you need to keep the tension on that band and walk in your squat. So you send your hips back and down and then just keep the tension on that band. So you shouldn't bring your feet together. If you can't feel this in the backs of your legs, think back. Chances are you're a little bit too over, so send the hips back and down. And back, feet under your hips, as close together as you can, and duck the squat. Good, make sure the knees are staying way behind the toes. And adduct the windmill. So from the side, into that adductor squat, and we sit in the squat while we work the core. Good work, guys. 3, 2, 1. That move always makes me sweat. Walking squat. Make sure again, you're still sending those hips back and down when you're doing your walking squat. You can see I'm not moving that quick. Focusing on my range of motion. Focusing on the points of performance of my squat. And then send it back. So Carolyn knows this move really well. Many a time has she actually had the band around her legs while I make her just walk up and down my studio. She knows how this feels. So again, guys, you want to feel those glutes. They should be starting to talk to you. And breath, good work. 3 down. Round 4 has a blast in it. First thing we're going to do is work on our split squat. So remember, split squat is static. So left leg back, feet under the hips, and squat. What you need to be really careful of is that you've gone really long in your stance, so that when you push down into your squat, your knee is straight in line with your calf, so you're not pushing forward. If your knee is going over your toe, make your stance longer. Ears, shoulders, hips, knee. Slow and controlled, and switch sides. Feet under the hips, nice and long. Make sure that front foot is facing out or forward. You don't want it facing in. You don't want your knee to fall in. So what I want you to focus on is when you come down, drive that knee out. Push it out as you come down. Increase the tension in the move. And lateral split jump. So just side to side. You'll notice I'm not going all the way down because I want to get a little bit of speed and a little bit of plyometric. So just a nice split lunge. For those of you that aren't jumping, split lunge, up, switch, push, switch. If you can do a little jump here, instead of just pushing to the toes, jump. If not, a rise to the toes will get you your plyometrics. Good work, guys. Using those arms as you jump. 2-foot landing, 2-foot jump. If you're kind of giving it a little hop and a step, I'm okay with that too. You got 5 seconds, give me 3 more, come on. Okay, calm down. Left foot back. Driving that knee out. Drop. Slow and controlled, I don't want to see you rush. Tempo split squats can solve so many issues. All of my PT clients at some point do tempo split squats. Switch. Good work, guys. Drive that front knee out, remember. Reactive neuromuscular training. We are training the body to pick safe movement patterns when we move fast. And 60-second blast. If you need to have a little shake, have a little shake, and then in. So if you're trying to jump, but it's a little bit smart, you can see you can use an arm swing to time it, because you could have a stationary arm swing and then a jumping arm swing. This is a really good way to kind of time your jumps to keep you moving. You're feeling like a rock star today and you can just one swing, one jump, and you can keep moving for 20 seconds. Keep moving, guys. Come on, you've got 15 seconds. Okay, I'm going to challenge you. Just get a little bit lower if you can. Just for the last 10. Just a little bit lower. And rest. This one's going to take us to the halfway point, round 5. Starting with just 30 seconds, reverse lunges. So we've warmed up the movement with the split squat. So reverse lunge all the way down to the ground. And because it's a lunge, we are moving and alternating. So remember, squats are stationary, lunges have movement. So whenever we do split squats, someone always says, it's just a lunge. It isn't, because we're not moving. Focus on the form, knee behind the toe, and then straight into lateral taxi lunges. Make sure when you come to here, get your feet under your hips. Oh, and my hip flexor is just giving me a little notice that it doesn't really like that today. So you guys keep moving. I'm just not going to go as low. Right, cross back lunge. So, cross lunge, back lunge, straight from one to the other, staying nice and low. And again, my hip flexor, everyone I think knows now. I've got a little niggle in this hip flexor. During those first set of curtsy lunges, it just kind of told me it's not happy with me going to depth today. So you guys, if you can, you're going to go to the ground. I'm just going to stay within my range of motion today. And switch sides. So right leg. Oh. Good. So those of you that can get that knee to the ground, get all the way down. Those of you that just need to work within the range of your body, do that please. Good work. lunge, so we repeat. All the way down. See, I've got no problem on the reverse. All in that side movement. Okay, team. Curtsy lunge. So again, my demo isn't full on because it won't go to the ground. If you can put the knee to the ground, do as I say, not as I do. And then we're going to go for that cross and back lunge, so left leg. Make sure you're sinking back, keeping the knee behind the toe, and remember that ceiling. Try to stay underneath your imposed ceiling, guys, by really putting the pressure through those legs, making them work a little bit harder. If you need to come all the way up, come all the way up, it's okay. And switch sides. Last 30 seconds in this round. Making sure when you come back to that back lunge, feet are still under the hips. There's a temptation to kind of do it really narrow, but then we're going to upset our hips and we're going to create unsafe movement patterns. And rest. Good work, guys. Okay, 10 seconds. We are into the second half of the workout. We are starting round 6. Round 6 is going to start with left leg, power knee. So pulling up, making sure that we're nice and long. Remember, I don't want you to be really tall. I want you to be really long. Get in that little twist if you can. So you pull round. So that we just work that core. Remember, this is a core move. So I want to see you contract the core. Pull the ribs to the hips. Get a little bit lower on that supporting leg if you can. And hit the floor. So hit the floor, up, over, up, over. If you can't hit the floor, just tap your knee. Make sure you get both hands up as you go over. Maybe you've got the range of motion, but you can't jump. So maybe you go all the way down to the ground, but you're just going to step it round instead of jumping. Maybe you need to reduce the range of motion and step. Okay, 2 power knee, 2 hit the floor. This is your blast. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and up. So we're still using that left leg only. Power knee will be on the same side. 1, 2, down, switch, up. Some people often do 3 hit the floor. Do 2. So 1, 2 power knee, down and hit the floor, switch, up. So you should be doing that power knee on the same side every time. Good work, guys. And then we're going to switch to the other side in 5 seconds. So give me 1 more rep. And then power knee, going the other way. So pull in, using that other leg. And again, trying to get as long as you can. So see how I load this front leg and send that back leg out as wide as I can? That's what I want to see. And get that little twist if you can. Nice work, guys. If you've got it, you can put some speed on it. Again, if you need to work on that form, just stay nice and controlled. And then the speed version of hit the floor. So stay nice and low and just tap. You can keep the legs bent and just work fast. If you need to, you can just push the hand flat as if you're tapping a high step in front of you. Working on trying to keep the back flat. So a lot of people will do this with a nicely rounded back. Try and pull it a little bit longer and a little bit straighter if you can. And then switch your side so that you're making this on the other side. 1, 2, hit, hit, up. 1, 2, hit, hit, up. Oh. Good work, guys. Keep going. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take it just nice and light. There's no going back. Good work, 5 seconds. Come on, finish it strong. 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. Nice work. So 20 seconds rest. Round 7 is the last round on our feet because we are going to do 3 down on the ground. We are going to start with some fast and furious high knee sprints. Whether you're running it or stepping it, think about that flexible ankle. So let's go. So pulling that knee up. So even my people that are stepping, sprinter arms, I want to see you really pump those arms to help drive the core. The best runners in the world, they use their arms, guys. So really use that strong sprinter arm. Toe up towards the shin to build that ankle strength and stiffness. And then, like we did in the warm-up, but a little bit more dynamic, slow, high knee, but with a little bit more of a lateral jump if you can. So even if you're stepping it, try and step across. And then the challenge is to use your core not to fall over to the side because we're driving across, but landing nice and straight. And not letting that knee cross the body. When we land, that knee should be in a straight line out to the front. Okay, switch kicks. If you want to use, again, those strong runner arms, use them. Steppers, use the punch because we know this is a nice little core bonus for this. Good. Really try and pump those arms. Pistons, smashing the ball of the foot aggressively off the floor to get some height. And slow switch kick. Trying to land in that kick position. Steppers again. And it's even harder with that straight leg because all that leg wants to do is wander over. So you've got to use everything. Keep it centered. High knee sprint. Get those knees up above that hip crease. And just because you're moving really fast, don't forget about that ankle. Pulling it up to the shin. I don't want to see those feet dangling down. Ankle stiffness. My big focus just for this month. You all know I kind of pick on one thing to kind of drive home to make it better. And slow. There's no going back. And this is about the ball of the foot. So we're still talking ankle stiffness because we're pressing the ball of the foot in to basically bounce it off the floor. So those toes should be up towards your shins. Try not to lean back, because remember, we don't want to lift our legs using our spine. We want to use our hip flexors, our core, and our glutes. With steppers, with that punch, and then remember, we're landing with the kick. So it's not like you kick it out when you get there, you switch kick. Land with the kick up. Show me the ball of your foot. Nice work, guys. Try and jump just a little bit further. Can you go over another inch? And rest. Okay, as I said, we've got 3 rounds down on the ground, each with a very different focus. Come down. Okay, starting with some scissor kicks. So shoulders up and just nice big scissor kick. So slow and controlled, very different to a flutter kick. So flutter kick is here, scissor kicks, really big. If you need to be up on your elbows to take your lower back out the equation, fine. If you need to be down without lifting your shoulders, if you need to just lift one leg at a time, all of this modification is okay. And then cycle crunch. So opposite arm, opposite elbow, controlled. Everything moves together. You need to modify. One foot stays on the floor, giving you that little bit more control, reducing the range of motion just a little bit. And then we've got our blast. We're going to put these two together in what we call a kick crunch. So you're going to lay with cycle crunch hands. You're going to kick up, crunch across, come down. Kick, crunch across, come down. So make sure that the kick comes before the crunch, because we want to isolate the muscles to do the very different job. So we want to lift and hold, side obliques crunch, then come down. Some of you will have really flexible spines. What I don't want you to do is when you kick up, let that leg come all the way over. I want you to stack it on top of its hip so that you've still got to get a good reach. So make sure you stop that leg at that right angle position. And we go back to that scissor kick. So again, if you bring the shoulders up and switch. Maybe you can bring the shoulders up, but you can still only do one leg at a time. Again, there's lots of different ways to layer these modifications to make it harder for you. You need to lay flat and just with those legs under control. It's always good. This is still doing work. Remember, every modification I give you will still do work. Okay, cycle crunch. Again, using that modification if you need to. And into that kick crunch for the last blast. And up and over. Remember, it's 3 or 4 moves. So kick, crunch. You can bring them down together. I personally like to really isolate, so I leave the leg is the first and the last thing to move. Good work, guys. You've still got 30 seconds. How are those abs feeling? You should be feeling, if you're doing this right, you should have awareness of all of your abs. So your upper abs, lower abs, the six pack, and those side obliques. You should feel a complete ab workout. And in fact, it's a complete core workout because we're also using our hips and it goes all the way from our shoulders. So it's one of those ultimate complete core moves. Good work, guys. 3, 2, 1. Take a little rest. Oh. Right. The next one, we are going to be working our glute med and our piriformis. So for the runners and the cyclists in the room, this is sometimes the tricky muscle. We have done this before. We've done it a couple of times in live classes. Just get into a nice straight line on one side. Make sure you put your hand on the floor for support. Flex your feet and lift that top leg and lift it up without bringing it all the way down. So you need to every time hover about 6 inches away from that laying leg. The idea is that we are going to do 2 minutes on each side without putting the foot down. If you need to put the foot down, it's okay, you can. Slow and controlled. Making sure that you're only using your glutes, so don't bend anywhere else. So now, kick it out. So again, I only want you to use your core and your glutes. So try not to move your upper body to artificially improve the range of motion. Use the hand that's on the floor for support. Making sure that you come just back above that foot. Really control the motion. And kick it back. Keeping it in a straight line, so I don't want it to go up. And you can see with this one, I do roll forward just slightly, but I let my whole body move forward, just so that I can really feel the tension in that glute, so I really get to the end point of that movement. Good work. And then cycle, so pull the knee up and then push it round. So pull the knee to the chest, extend, give me a nice big cycle movement. And again, try not to put that foot down unless you really need to. Okay, put it down really quickly, switch sides. So here we go, on the other side, make sure you are nice and straight, lift that leg, and here we go. So make sure you keep those feet flexed, so I want you to pull that ankle stiffness, toes towards the shin. And again, just hovering about 6 inches away from that bottom foot, lifting up. So to make bulletproof glute med muscles and piriformis, you would do this for a lot longer, but a 4-minute round is good enough. Kick it forward or out. So we often, like I said in the first round, we often neglect doing any strength training of the calf muscles. Same with the glute med and the piriformis. They're not strengthening muscles, they are stabilizing muscles. So they often get overlooked. So we're just going to make sure they have a little bit of attention and kick it back. We usually have one side that will be a little bit worse than the other. And this is always my worst side. And I also know for a fact that the problem with my hip flexor is coming from this glute. And remember, the source of pain is never normally the source of the problem. People with lower back problems will know that. The problem is very rarely actually in your lower back. Good, so knee up, push it forward and cycle. Oh, this one is singing. Oh, good work, guys, we've got 20 seconds. Oh my goodness. Ooh. And it down. Or you might need to give it a bit of a rub, give it a bit of a slap. Oh, right, one more round. Back onto your back. We've done scissor kicks. We are going to get into flutter kicks. So this is the small, tight version. Again, if you want to get into that full hollow position, make sure that only your sit bone and the small of your back is on the mat. If not, you're not in the hollow position. If not, just try and lift the shoulders off the floor and let's go. Do not put your hands under your butt. Never do this, guys, because it causes hip imbalances, because it puts you at an angle, it can change your alignment, and it can cause all sorts of problems. If you can't do it here, just do it here. And then over time, as those muscles get stronger, you'll be able to lay down and lower down to the ground. Tiny straight kicks. Remember, just take the legs as high as you need to keep the small of the back on the mat. And knee pulls. So either into that hollow position or feet down, shoulders up, and pull. Making sure that as you pull, again, everything is about this rib to hip contraction, because that's when we know we're using our core. Pulling those elbows to meet that knee. So you almost kind of make a straight line. And then for 60 seconds, flutter knee. So 4, 3, 2, 1, knee. 4, 3, 2, 1, knee. If it gets a bit much, you could do 4 scissor kicks from the floor and a knee pull. Try and keep your shoulders off the floor if you want to use this modification. And make sure you're pulling the opposite knee every rep. If you want to do it up here, you can be up here. Good work, guys. You can see you've got 20 seconds. So if it's really starting to pull, you can just take, get into this stretch position, but only for count yourself down, maximum 5 seconds, and then try and get back to work. I know it's really hard because we're going to go straight back into flutter kicks, which is just really mean, but 3, 2, 1, flutter kick. Chin off the chest. And again, if you're going to try and work this hollow position, you really need to make sure that you've got that hollow position. And again, how do you know you've got it? Because only your sit bone and the small of the back are on the mat. Everything else is up, and you create this hollow dish, and you really contract the core. Oh, it's hard, team. It's really hard. Good work. 3, 2, 1. Alternating knee pull. So use this time to really stretch. So when you come out of that knee pull, really stretch. So crunch in, stretch out. Don't forget to breathe. Good work, guys. So you've got 5 seconds here, and then we've got our last minute of the class. So 3, 2, 1, flutter knee. So maybe you know that you can't do 60 seconds. Maybe you're like, you know what, I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to have a quick stretch, and then I'm going to do another 2 reps. And then I'm just going to put my feet down, and I'm going to have a quick stretch. But only a quick stretch. Try and build up the amount of time you work versus the amount of time you rest, and just build up your endurance and build up that muscular strength, team. If you're still here, you're doing well. Don't forget to breathe and make sure you've got that gap, that chin. You can fit your fist between your chin and your chest. Remember, anytime you drop your chin, close your airway, you make everything so much harder. You've got 10 seconds, team. You are doing so well. Stay strong. 3, 2, 1, rest. So just lay flat on your back and just get those 2 fingers in your hand. Just stretch and breathe. So just focus on really nice deep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice and deep. Pretend you're on a rack and extend that stretch every time you exhale. And then you guys are going to stay here. I'm going cool down. Okay, team. From here, what I want you to do is lift up one knee to your chest, take it in the opposite hand, and pull it over. Take out the opposite hand and look in the direction of the outstretched hand. Just pull that knee across. Try and take it to the ground, but keep your shoulders on the floor. And then swap sides. So again, pull the knee into the chest, then take it in the opposite hand, roll it over, take out that opposite hand, look in the opposite direction. Good. Then turn over. I'm going to do this facing the camera just so that you can see it. Turn over onto your front. One hand in, one hand out. And then you're going to lift that leg over and take it over. So the bent hand should be the leg that you take over. Good, so swap sides to bring the other hand in, extend the other arm out, lift over, and take it over. And come out of that. Sit up onto your butt, put your legs out in front of you, and reach down. Try and keep those legs straight, so if you can drag your ankles or your knees, it's all good. Just go as low as you can. Turn over onto all fours and come up into a plank. Do a nice big spider lunge, get that hand near the foot and open up. Make sure you're looking up at this hand, up in the ceiling. And then put that hand down, back into the plank, nice big spider lunge, and then open up. And again, you guys stay there, it's just because I can't see the clock, I have no idea what's going on. And then come out of that, from that plank, just come into a down dog, walk your hands in towards your feet, hang at the bottom. Good work, guys, just another 10 seconds and then we're gonna roll up. Start to roll up nice and slowly. And relax, team. We are done. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.